though these 3 men were in it. As I live, saith Yah Elohim, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered themselves. Well, when you look at white media, the white man will claim on his television program that he'll blow up the world to go save this woman who he claimed he loved, while she sit up with her legs jacked up and open with her breasts exposed to show that to whoever and whoever will look. And you all know it's summertime, and these same men will kill off anything for this woman who will do that to them and then turn around and marry somebody else and do it to them. Who let the dogs out? And to discuss this powerful topic, we have a panel that's ever ready. And this is the other thing. With this program, and those of you who listen to WAOK, you know that I get cut off a lot. But for those of you who disagree with what I have to say, I want you to call in, because you ain't got to agree with what I or anybody on this panel says, and you're welcome to come down here and be a part. It doesn't matter. So again, to discuss this powerful topic, the ever-present, the intelligent, and she ain't scared, Faith Cofield.
Hello.
And the soldier story, a brother who's been out there in the street and continues to fight as the Most High will give him the ability to do so, Mark Johnson. And a man of peace. It ain't mean he ain't always been about peace. It don't mean he wasn't in gangs and don't know what time it is. But he is Prince Zebekiah. Shalom, beloved. And another brash, right, bright, in-your-face kind of guy, the Dr. Curtis Grasha. I'm going to start with you, Faye. When we see senseless killings, when we see a young man standing at a bus stop and these rabid dogs just come out and just shoot him down for $5 and a cell phone, and we look at the continued divorce and corruption in the government, tell us, how do we begin to prepare ourselves when the government is doing the same thing that these street thugs are doing in Iraq? How do we fight against this?
Well, to me, the first thing you have to do is parents have to be parents. You know, we talk about now, but many of us, myself included, were raised at a time when segregation was the law of this country, when our parents were oppressed, but they provided a home environment for us. And that's what the problem is. See, when you allow confusion to come into your house, whether it's between a husband and a wife, or whether it's between a boyfriend or a girlfriend, that confusion lingers in your house. I don't allow confusion in my house. For that reason, my son wasn't exposed to confusion. I don't care what he was exposed to on the street. When he came into our house, there was no confusion. So he could not say that confusion was the norm, because what children consider to be the norm is what they see from their parents. I didn't allow it. I didn't allow fighting in my house. I didn't allow a whole bunch of craziness in my house. And see, when you have constant conflict between people, parents hollering at each other, parents fighting with children, somebody needs to leave. And that's why I've always been of the opinion we put too much emphasis on a two-parent family and not enough emphasis on a quality home life. And that's where the question comes in, whether or not you're going to have a quality home life like many of us grew up in, or whether you're going to be concentrating what fit. And the two-parent family is often a European mentality, because in many cultures you may have a man that's married to several women, or you may have there was a situation with the woman that the man that's running for president of France. He and his wife live in different areas, so of course they're maintaining separate households. The female that was running had 4 children by a man she was not married to. But And all of that, it is what confusion you allow in your home. If you bring disrespect into your home, if you allow yourself to be disrespected in public, if you carry on like a little ghetto thug, your children gonna pick it up. What you allow to be acceptable is what your children will develop into.
You know, Mark, as a father of 4 daughters, and we see what's happening with our daughters. They shake dancing. True.
Some.
Okay.
Some.
They shake dancing. They go into colleges but they girls going wild, hoes going wild in college.
Some.
And all of that. But as a father of daughters and being in the street, what do you see is the resolution to these wild dogs and these bitches out on the street that's wreaking havoc?
First, I'd like to say peace be upon Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
You know, I can only imagine when Moses went to the top of the mountain to gather the commandments and what he seen when he came back down. He seen lasciviousness, you know, just all kind of manners of perversion and stuff like that. And I think that we being here in the descendants from the Roman Empire, that's who they're from, the Roman Empire. That's who they modeled their government as, the Senate and the House of Representatives.
The judicial system?
Is modeled after the Roman. When Martin Luther King said he read the book and he seen the parallels with frightened, I not only read the book and seen it was frightened, I realized that's those people who they are.
That's right.
So I'm aware of that. You know, and then as well as that, I was asked to go down Simpson Road and you was with me, and we seen some stuff that, you know, people were stealing everything, copper, everything. People were renovating houses and they were taking everything out that wasn't nailed down. We're out of control. And we cannot wait for the government to bring in these rehability programs to help us. We must act now.
Thank you.
We can't wait for that. We can no longer say, well, you know, the government need to do this. We need to do something. And I think the church need to galvanize together and come down with me to Simpson Road, as well as Gerald Road and Markel Hudgens, you know, because it's not only about what's happening in the city for the police shooting, but there's some more stuff going on. And if we don't get control of this now, nobody will be safe. I guarantee you that. Nobody. Because if you see some of the stuff that's going down, it is not funny. They're stealing everything you think of that they can take, they take. You know, so then we look at, you know, the government and the way it's conducting themselves, and knowing that they're descended from Romans. You know, Martin Luther King says some of our white brothers here in 1963 is evidence that all white people are not bad. Well, if that is evidence, where are you? Because if you don't show up, let me tell you what's going to happen. When Jefferson said that he trembled what happened with the retribution of God, knowing that he's a just God, I tremble when I know what's going to happen to your seed if you do not help and intervene and try to cure this problem as well. Because somewhere I hear the audible voice of saying, pour double in her cup.
That's right.
Double.
That's
so
right.
Trust me, he's a God that you don't want to fall in the hands of under those circumstances. And if you stay back in your safe zone and don't get involved, I tremble, and I have nothing to do with what's going to happen to your seed.
Prince Zebekiah, you have daughters as well. The key is not just having daughters. Are they married? Are they in stable relationships where their children see their son? When we look at the type of wanton killing by these rabid dogs, they oversex, they're violent, they're rabid, they're out of control. What says the scripture about these things? And as Mark so eloquently and adequately displayed, even at Mount Sinai, our forefathers did the exact same things.
You know, Gideon, if we go back that far, we see that people are acting independent of the Creator. And, you know, when I think back to it, I think back to the information that the Creator empowered Moses with. Because Moses, the instruction that you just began reading from, talked about what you're supposed to do to a child. But what really bogs us down is that our leadership, because the leadership doesn't know what they're supposed to be doing. When we start from the king, that would be the president.
That's right.
Okay. In our culture, he is supposed to write the laws of God.
Okay.
So that means he had to do what? He had to be aware of it.
That's right.
He had to know them.
That's right.
So in order to write. The Creator left, and Moses, when he left Moses with 3 books, 5 books actually.
Exactly.
The 3rd book, of which they changed the name to Leviticus,